You might be a back-end dev with 5 years of Java under your belt. You might be a systems engineer who is absolutely sick of chasing down memory leaks in C++. Or maybe you're just a junior who's still figuring out whether to pick Python or Go first. But regardless of who you are, you've felt it. This Rust wave is hitting differently. So I have decided to talk about 4 major things. First, I'm going to hit you with the receipts, the actual proof of how popular Rust is. Second, why the hell is it this popular? Third, does learning Rust actually put more cash in your pocket, or is it just a nice to have on a resume? And fourth, I am going to answer the only question you actually care about. Should you learn Rust? Because the answer isn't a simple yes for everyone. Let's look at some hard data first, so you don't think I'm just blowing smoke up your ass. July 2026, the TIOBE Index, if you don't know, it's basically the popularity contest for programming languages. Rust broke into the top 10 for the first time in history. It was sitting at number 18 just a year ago, from 18 to the top 10 in 12 months. In an industry where language rankings move like molasses, that is a fucking earthquake. Let's hit you with another one. The Stack Overflow Developer Survey. Rust has been voted the most admired programming language for 10 consecutive years. In 2025, 72% of Rust users said they want to keep using it. Think about that. You use a tool and not only do you not want to switch, but you actively evangelize it to your coworkers. That level of satisfaction, you don't see that in other languages. This isn't some niche echo chamber. This is a genuine industry-wide shift. All right, data is cool, but let's look at where the actual money and resources are flowing. You know the rule. Where big tech dumps its cash, that's where the real wind is blowing. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, Cloudflare, Dropbox. Pick any of these names out of a hat, they are all adopting Rust in some capacity. And I'm not talking about let's try it on a side project. I'm talking rewriting their mission-critical infrastructure in Rust. Let me give you 2 concrete cases that will blow your mind. Number 1, Google's Android team. After aggressively adopting Rust into Android, memory safety vulnerabilities dropped below 20% for the first time. And the density of vulnerabilities in Rust code is 1 by 1,000 to that of C or C++. This means that for every 1,000 lines of C++ you write that produce memory bugs, you might not get a single one in Rust. Number 2, Firefox. In June 2026, Firefox 151 replaced the ancient C language lib compression library, which had been running since 1995 with a Rust rewrite called zlib. This isn't some hacker's weekend project. This is a 30-year-old piece of internet infrastructure being replaced by Rust. Mozilla didn't do this for the memes. They did it after rigorous engineering evaluation. Do you think these companies are bored out of their minds? Hell no. They are genuinely terrified of C and C++ memory issues. Okay, so it's popular, and the big players are using it. So the question is, what the hell did Rust actually get right? Honestly, Rust's core value proposition is disgustingly simple in 3 words: performance plus safety. Back in the day, this was a trade-off. You wanted performance? Then you picked C or C++, but the price was a lifetime of wrestling with memory leaks, dangling pointers, and buffer overflows. And if you wanted safety, then you picked Java or Go. But the price was garbage collection overhead and unpredictable latency that could kill your high-frequency trading system. Rust looked at that choice and said, fuck that, I'm taking both. Through a mechanism called the ownership system and the borrow checker, Rust guarantees memory safety at compile time. No garbage collector, 0 runtime overhead. Performance is neck and neck with C++. And don't think it stops at memory. Concurrency safety? The compiler catches data races before they even become a problem. You write multi-threaded code and the compiler literally tells you, nope, this will break. Rewrite it. You don't have to wait for a pager alert at 3 a.m. to figure that out. Let's move to the most grounded topic, money. Rust devs are in high demand for cloud computing, distributed systems, and blockchain. In places like the US and Europe, it carries a scarcity premium. The job market isn't as massive as Java or Python, but for roles involving high-performance systems, trading infrastructure, and embedded tooling, the salary elasticity is significantly higher. In the Asian markets, companies like ByteDance and Xiaomi are paying top-tier packages, often matching or exceeding what Go or C++ architects make, but with significantly fewer years of experience required. The market is voting with its cold, hard cash. And look at the long game. Rust is steadily becoming the default standard for system software. OS kernels, database engines, compilers, browser engines, and AI runtimes. All right, this is the part you've been waiting for. Should I learn Rust? Let's start with the front end, folks. If you're slinging React components all day, building UIs and wrestling with CSS, honestly, skip it for now. Now, what about backend developers building basic CRUD API? The calculus is a bit different. If you're just moving data from a database to a client, Rust is massive overkill. Go or Python will get you there faster with half the frustration. But, and this is a big but, if you're working on ultra-low latency systems where every millisecond costs money, then Rust starts making a whole lot of sense. For students and juniors, my advice is different. Don't rush into Rust as your first language. It'll break you. Build a solid foundation with Python or JavaScript first. Understand the basics. Then, once you're comfortable, level up to Rust. You'll actually appreciate the challenge instead of just suffering through it. And blockchain developers, let's be honest, you already know you need it. The entire ecosystem runs on Rust. This one's obvious.